time. I'm too late. How did I not see this coming? I'm too late. What if I'm not? She's about to harm herself. What will I say? How will I stop it? These thoughts are on repeat as I rush over to Marilyn's house. I ran through her front door, crying out her name, searching frantically for her. When I get to the back room, she's lying there, almost lifeless. The day I saved my best friend's life was also when things took a turn for the worse in my life. I could have never imagined that shortly after her incident, she would go on to hurt me the way that she did. But let me rewind a bit and tell you the story from the start. Marilyn and I were best friends in high school and stuck together like glue. I went over to her place after school almost every day. We would hang out, gossip, do homework, try to cook new recipes, watch movies, and listen to 80s rock music. We loved singing along and talking about our favorite band members. We were so close that sometimes it felt as if we were one. We told each other everything. And so it was no surprise to me when she started to go through some serious depression. I was there for her when no one else was, which brought us even closer together than we already were, if that was even possible. Then one day, while I was at home doing chores, I received an ominous text message from Marilyn, which totally freaked me out. "Goodbye, princess," her nickname for me. "I love you so, so much. Words cannot describe. But I have to go now. Tell my mom I love her." My heart sank into my stomach. I immediately called her, but there was no answer, and I knew something was seriously wrong. With a foggy mind and trembling hands, I called the police, then rushed to her house. That's when I got there and found her lying almost lifeless in the back room. She was lying under the rickety ceiling fan, which had collapsed on top of her. As I approached her laying on the floor, I noticed there was a noose tied from the fan to her neck. For a split second, I thought I was too late. Through the fear, anxiety, and panic, I managed to shove the fan off of her and loosen the rope around her neck. Then, to my surprise, she sat up. She looked into my eyes, and neither of us said a word. I was panting, but so relieved. Marilyn began sobbing in my arms. I tried to calm her down. Then, out of the blue, she kissed me. I pushed her away in shock, just as the police ran in. She ended up being taken to a mental hospital, where she stayed for 3 months. I visited her almost every day, bringing her the gossip from school, telling her stories to cheer her up, and we still talked loads about 80s rock music just like before. She got diagnosed with chronic depression and dissociative identity disorder. One day during my visit, she admitted to me that she had fallen in love with me. I didn't know how to feel about that and never brought it up again. When she came home, I continued seeing her every day, but things were getting awkward. She started making inappropriate advances towards me. Again, I didn't know how I felt, but I began reciprocating her advances, and we began a relationship. At first it was great, because we really did love each other. But when we finally slept together, I realized I wasn't actually into girls. I tried, and I wanted to be, but I just wasn't. When I admitted to her that I thought I was straight, but she was still my best friend, she got angry, and I mean really angry. She slapped me across the face. I was stunned. My best friend, the closest person in my life, just hit me. I stood there as tears welled up in my eyes. I apologized over and over. Through my teary eyes, I could see that her anger was not subsiding. And then things took a turn for the worse. She pinned me to the wall and kissed me with force. I pushed her off of me and told her no. She punched me in the face, kissed me, and touched me, yelling, "You don't like this? Tell me you don't like this!" I felt trapped. At first, I said nothing. I was completely in shock. And she took advantage of me over and over. One minute she was groping me, and the next hitting me. I began crying and begged her to stop, but she didn't. It wasn't until her mom came home from work and found us that I was freed from her hands. Her mom pulled her off me and helped me up. She drove me home and begged me not to press charges because of Marilyn's mental health. She promised she would readmit her to the mental hospital, and I agreed. After what happened, Marilyn sent me many nasty text messages saying that she was going to harm herself after she harmed me, or even my sisters if I told anyone about what happened. I never told anyone about this until now. When I look back at all this, I realize that I pitied her and let her take advantage of me because she was suffering from depression and had a mental disorder. I didn't realize that while I thought I was helping her, I was hurting myself. I had a hard time moving on, but after 5 years, I'm in a much more stable relationship. What Marilyn did to me still affects me today. When I hear a song that we used to listen to together or smell her perfume, I feel uneasy. I have only just now started to tell people my story and am reaching out to others that may have had similar experiences. You are not alone.